There is fallout today from the government's announcement to grant 2 new free-to-air television licenses. Hong Kong Television Network, which did not get a license, is considering whether to legally challenge that decision. Ricky Wong's TV venture has also announced it will lay off more than half of its workforce. Joel De Silva reports.
Visibly emotional and disappointed, Ricky Wong, the head of Hong Kong Television Network, held a press conference today demanding explanations from the government. After $900 million was pumped into his dream of setting up a competitor to TVB and ATV in the free TV market, the entrepreneur saw it dashed by the government's decision to reject his company's application for a license. Wong today called that a black box operation, and he wants to know why he was rejected.
I wish the government can stand out and tell us what is happening. Okay, what is my score of this process? Okay, what is the score of the others? Even it's the singing context. Okay, like this Sundays. Okay, at least everybody will know their score, right? Let me know my score.
The government yesterday announced that it would grant free-to-air licenses to 2 existing pay-TV operators, PCCW and iCable Communications. Claiming that his company is the most capable of all 3 applicants, Wong says his legal team is now deciding whether to fight back.
Definitely, for the interests of the company shareholders and our colleague, I don't see any reason why not to go for a JR. I mean, the benefit of the JR is not only for my company, but also for the whole of Hong Kong.
Wong, who also described the decision to lay off 320 of the station's 500 workers as painful, said the public is on his side. A Facebook page set up in support of the company has received more than 350 likes in 24 hours. Indeed, the government's decision to reject HKTV's bid for a license runs counter to the expectations of many in Hong Kong, including the Communications Authority, which had earlier recommended that all 3 licenses be granted. Joel De Silva, TVB News.
Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development Greg So says he's saddened by the job losses at Hong Kong Television Network, and legislators question if the government has something to hide in not granting a license to Ricky Wong's company. Jenny Lam has that story.
Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development Greg So divulged little why Hong Kong Television Network was not granted a license, but simply that it was not as competitive as the other applicants.
A lot of these assessments are based on information that's given by the applicant, some of which is confidential, and the assessment was made on that basis. So I would not be at liberty at this time to disclose these information, and so it presents some difficulty for me to go in greater detail than what I have been given so far.
The Democratic Party staged a demonstration outside the central government offices over the company's failure to get a license. Some legislators question if the administration has something to hide.
Unless the government can explain to the public on reasonable ground, objective ground, why the 2 successful applicants was their edge, why Ricky Wong failed. Otherwise, the public can only draw a conclusion that it is unreasonable and may be related to political ground.
The government says they want to ensure that there would be a healthy and steady development of the industry. But that is a matter for the industry to decide. It's a matter for market forces to decide who should stay and who should not stay.
Because the government didn't release one more license for another TV company, so there's a lot of questions in our general public's mind. Why this 2, not this one? Why 3? Why 2, not 3?
Chen Yun-han of the Federation of Trade Unions also wants an explanation from the government. She hopes PCCW and iCable, which did get their licenses, can absorb those made redundant at Hong Kong Television Network. Jenny Lam, TVB News.